Hello and welcome back to Fairies and Folktales after I think like a month. It's been a pretty hard month, which is why I haven't uploaded anything. If you saw any of my posts on my channel, you would know that we lost two of our pets. One of our rats named Rosie. She was so sweet and so beautiful. And then our old man, Apollo, who we called Butterboy, because he was our buddy, and then that just evolved into Butter and then Butterboy. That's why we called him that. But his name was Apollo. He was so floofy. I'll post pictures of both of them so you can see them. They're wonderful. And we miss them greatly, and we've just been kind of dealing with that, coping with it, going through like the stages of grief and everything. But I'm finally back, and I have a lot to show you. Well, you can see my hair is different. I've bleached it and like it's ready for a new hair color because I'm have plans for what my hair is going to look like when we go on our Scotland trip, which I've talked about previously, and that's coming up pretty soon. Let's see how many days are left. I have a countdown. Okay, my countdown says that we just passed 50 days. There are 49 days left. Oh, actually, there's 48 days left because we're going a day early, so let me go change my countdown. "48 days. I can't believe it. That's crazy. It's so soon, which leads me into, I guess, what I'm going to talk about during this video is an update on like everything I've made in this past like month, like all the projects I've been working on and where I'm at in them, and it's going to be fun. So on the topic of Scotland, I am making a sweater scarf for my mom and mother-in-law, to like so they can wear just during the trip, but mainly for when we have our ceremony. I just wanted them to have something nice that like I made that they could wear during the ceremony. And so here is my mom's, the start of it. Here's one sleeve, and it's just a simple ribbed sleeve. And then here's the start of the like scarf part of it. And this has taken a lot from me, like a lot of learning. Because as you can see, it's like cable knit, but it's crochet. And one, I don't know how to cable knit, and two, I didn't know how to cable crochet. So this was really, really difficult for me to learn, but I finally understand the pattern, and I'm like flying through it now. This like, these first few rows right here, I was off on stitch count by like 1 stitch, and it made the entire pattern not make sense. I was like, but it should go here, but it says it doesn't. And oh my gosh, and so I gave up on it for a long time. But finally frogged back to the foundation row of like starting here, because this was crocheting this way and then this is crocheting back and forth this way. And so I had to have a foundation row to set that up, and then I like counted like 5 times probably to make sure that it was the right stitch count. And I finally have the correct stitch count, and I'm like keeping track of the ends of both rows so that I don't get off again. But I don't really feel like I'm having a problem with getting off, because I understand the pattern enough to where like if I mess up on a count, I'll see that it doesn't make sense where I am at the next spot. Like all of these little holes, none of them line up above one another. And so I know that if I'm right above one of them and then I have another skip to make a hole, that I know I'm wrong and I miscounted something. And then all of these cables, I know that they place exactly on top of the other one. So it's really, really easy for me now. I'm only scared on the decrease, like on the other end, going into the sleeve cuff, because it's just made like, you know, all in one thing. which is great, and I love that, no sewing. But I'm just nervous about like getting it to look as good as this side does. So, wish me luck on that. Oh, for this I'm using the Lions brand Fisherman's Wool in brown heather, I think it's called. I don't have the label with me right here, but it's a heathered brown. I think the other one is Nature's Brown, so yeah, this one's heathered brown. And then here's my crochet hook that I'm using for, because I'm only using this size for these two projects, so I'm just keeping it inside of the yarn. And then, so going from that, I will show you the other one. Oh, this one has the label on it, but you can see why the other label's gone. It's because, like, you know, this one's about to fall off too. And this one is called Nature's Brown. So that one is definitely the heathered brown. And I think it's just called brown heather or heathered brown. Not sure which one, but if you go searching, you'll see. But this is what I've made so far for, oh, that one was my mom's, if I didn't say that, the first one I showed. And this one is from my mother-in-law. I wanted them to both have sweater scarves, but them to not be identical. And so this, oh my God. It's so big. This one is unfortunately made in, like, you make the scarf and then you make the arm and then you make the arm, so you have to, yeah, like separate pieces, and it's a little bit annoying to do that, but it's still gonna look great. And I will show up close so you can see the stitch. It's called the wheat stitch. And it looks kind of complicated, but it's actually really easy to do. It's just a back and forth pattern where you have like 2 rows of like ribbing basically, and then you have 1 row of doing a puff stitch going this way, and then when you turn it, you do the same puff stitch the other way, and it just makes it look like you've done a complicated change. But it's literally that you've just turned your work and are going the other way. And then 2 more rows of the rib stitch, and that until your panel was big enough. And so it was a pretty good project just to kind of work on when I needed something that was mindless, which is like while I'm watching shows with my partner, something like that. I always like to have something in my hands or else I'll stop paying attention to the show. Thank you, ADHD. But if I'm working on a crochet something, I pay very close attention to the show because my mind can focus on it if my hands are doing something else. So this was a great mindless one. And I've gotten to the point where this one is almost a mindless one. I have to pay a little bit more attention with this. And I have my iPad up next to me where I can like tick off where I've completed, because it is, you know, it's a little bit more complicated pattern. So I just really need to keep track of that more. And next is something small. And this was just after I finished that one, I needed another more mindless pattern. And this, I don't have any specific like time frame of when I'll be finishing this. This is just, it'll be done when it's done. But this is just a top for a dress. And it's just a ribbed top. As you can see, I really like doing ribbing. I just think it looks really nice. And I like how it stretches, so it makes it easier to wear. But this is the top for a dress, and once it's done, it'll have like I'll do like a row or 2 of single crochets on the top and then like make the straps. And then the bottom of the dress is going to be kind of like a baby doll dress, so the waist is like right up here, like as high as the waist can go basically. And then the dress starts after that to make that like baby doll shape, and it'll have subtle like almost pleats, but more just kind of ruffles. I think it's more just, you know, too many stitches in the row to make the ruffles kind of thing. I don't think it's actual pleats like I did for that top that I showed previously. But I'm kind of like mixing patterns together, which is why I'm not sure yet. And I'm just on the top part and figuring out what I want to do with that. Speaking of tops, my tank top that I briefly spoke about, and that I'm kind of like making up my own pattern, this is where I'm at with it. That's like the back. You can see where the join is. Actually, that I've decided that this will be the, I forgot until just now, that I've decided this will be the front, and I'm going to put buttons, just like, you know, unusable buttons, but just like so faux, like decorative buttons down the front, because there's a definite like space where you can see where the join is, and I just don't like that, even if it's in the back, because I know it's there. So I'm gonna make it into like a statement thing and put buttons, and it'll look really cute. But right now, because I'm making up this pattern, I'm at the point where I'm having to figure out how to like increase to go over the chest area, and I'm a little bit confused on how to do that because I've never done it before. So I'm just kind of making it up, and I've done a few rows and then frog back, done a few rows, frog back, and just I'm figuring it out, but slowly. And so it's just on the back burner right now. That's where I'm at with that. Gotten a lot further than last time I showed it. And I did add in a gray stripe here because I wanted the straps to be gray, the straps, and then like the outline of the whole thing to be gray. And so I wanted to have a little bit of that in the top as well. But the rest of it is just how the yarn works up. It's just this yarn. This is what it looks like. It's a cotton blend from, it's a Turkish cotton blend that my dad got me. He went to Cyprus, but it's a Turkish yarn. And I just love how it works up. Like, this is a self-striping yarn. It's really, really nice. And another small thing is I'm doing a little pattern test for someone that just asked for pattern testers on Reddit. And it's just a really simple thing. It's a froggy bag. And so this is the front panel, and then the back panel will just be the solid, this darker green. And the front will have little eyes and little cheeks and then like a little sewn on mouth. And then you just put them together and make a strap, and it's really cute. And I really like how they did this. It looks really good how you have the little bumps for the like framing of the eyes. It's cute. But that's all I've done of it so far. And I'll get the rest done pretty quickly. That didn't take me very long to do. I just need to sit down and actually finish it. But during this last month, I needed some projects that I could just finish because, you know, it was a lot dealing with losses. So I decided to make a few bandanas because they're really easy projects that are mindless and like something I can complete and get that like, yay, I completed something kind of thing. So I made this one. It's a cute little picot bandana, like it has a little picot border of the bandana. And I used Lily Sugar and Cream for it, which is it's not the nicest to work with, but it's pretty good for a bandana. And once you wash it, it gets really nice and malleable. I made my friend Jen one of these in the same color. This is actually, this and the next one are the rest of that skein that I made hers with. And she's washed it, or maybe it's just that she's worn it a bunch, but it's much more malleable. You can see how like stiff this is, but once it's like worn and washed, it's really nice and sits well on the head. The other one I made is this. I used the rest of the yellow and then did a border of a sparkly black. I'm not sure if you can see that this is sparkly, kind of. Yeah, but it's really nice, sparkly. I guess you can still see it when it's blown out. It just does not want to focus on it. But it's pretty sparkly yarn. And those will go up on my site, or maybe I'll sell them at a market before putting them up, I'm not sure. But all of that will be done after the trip. What I'm focusing on before the trip is like all the stuff we need to get done for that. I'm not going to be working on any more market or shop stuff until after, when I can focus on it. But the other project, and my favorite project that I've worked on since then, is a cardigan. I found someone on Reddit who was selling yarn, just like, you know, for a cheaper price. And I saw them all grouped together and thought that that would make a really pretty striped cardigan. And I was right. Look at how gorgeous this is. I made a top-down raglan cardigan because I didn't want to have to sew panels together, and so I just did top down. And the gray is not one of the ones that I got from that person, but I wasn't sure if I'd have enough yarn between like what I bought from them to make an entire cardigan. So I added in gray. You can see like I did a row of gray here, row of gray here, like all the way down. And then I did the same pattern. And I didn't repeat for each, like say this purple, I didn't repeat the same number the next time I did the purple. You see, I did different amounts each time, but the order of the colors is the same. And then there aren't 2 rows that have the same number of rows, or 2 sections that have the same number of rows, one right after the other. So it's like 4 and then 1 and then 3 and then 2. It goes down like that. And it's just really, really pretty, and I love it. And it's really long. It goes down to like mid-thigh. And I've finished, other than weaving in the insane amount of ends, I've finished like all the sleeves, and I have all the ribbing on both sleeves. And I am currently working on the ribbing around the front of the cardigan. So I've completed this entire side of ribbing and then done across the top, and I'm now here and then have to complete down this side. And I'm going to be putting buttons on here, so I like tacked where my buttons will go and then made a little buttonhole, and then on this side the buttons will be sewn and I'll be able to use them. Like they'll actually be usable buttonholes instead of just decorative like that tank top that I was talking about. But I think that's all the stuff that I've been working on. And as you can see, I've only completed the 2 bandanas. Most of my projects are longer projects. And I also just crochet as my hands allow me. And so like if I have really bad wrist pain or thumb pain or something, then I will stop for the day, because I don't want to push myself too hard to get things done, because it's really, you know, it's just for me. It doesn't matter if I'm making a video or anything. It's just, everything I'm making is still just for me. Like it's just me making it, and I need to like listen to my body and make sure I don't injure myself, which is what everyone that does any kind of things that use their hands or their body at all, you need to listen to your body. So I think that's it. And I know you'll probably see this outfit again because I'm about to go into recording another Destination Yarns video, which will be really fun. So you get a little sneak preview, or just like info on it. It's yarn that my dad got me from France last time he went, and it is really pretty, and I really like it. Oh, I think I forgot to say, these are new glasses. They have the FL41 lenses in them, and they're at 50%. They're for migraines, people with migraines or light sensitivity. And I just got them in today, so I'm wearing them for the first time. And I've had a migraine since yesterday morning, and I think they're already helping. It is a little weird because it's a new prescription too, and this is my first time wearing the new prescription, so that already is kind of messing with my head. For anyone who wears glasses or contacts, you know how new prescription can kind of make your head hurt a little bit to adjust to it. But I think the lenses are helping because I'm not squinting as much, and I'm not having as much like eye strain, I feel like, so that's really nice. And you'll see my other like regular wear glasses in another video soon. I like both pairs, they're really nice. But these ones I needed for today, and I kind of look like John Lennon or Bono wearing my colorful glasses, but I really like them. And pretty soon you'll be able to see my new hair color. I know, like, this is very new. And this is not toned. Like I just like rubbed some conditioner with a little bit of purple and slathered that over. So it's really uneven, just to make it a little cooler, but it's not fully toned, as you can see. Like there's some warmth right here. So I need to tone that. But then I will have dye and I will look very different. But you'll see that in another video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.